Hey there, it's the end of the day, and I've been thinking today about what's important with movement. And I've recorded all sorts of standing sequence and stretching sequences, and a little bit of stuff on the ground, but we haven't really talked much about sitting. So, this movement sequence is really just going to be about sitting. Um, Probably like me, you sit in a chair far too much, and we just don't spend enough time on the floor. And the skills as we get older to very simply just literally, get up onto hands and knees, get back up to standing from sitting. We just lose that ability quite easily. And we also lose the ability to sit up unsupported. We need something behind our backs. So what I want you to do is just to go ahead and sit down on the floor somewhere. And you can have a yoga mat underneath you or not. And then once you've sat down, I want you just to rock from side to side on your pelvis. And as you roll from one side, you're just going to pull the flesh out from your bum on each side so that you really can feel the base of your pelvis on the ground. And then go ahead and just bend your knees up a little bit. And what that is going to help you do is actually to lift your low back. So instead of kind of sitting in a rounded position like this, you're really going to try and lengthen up through your spine so your sternum, your chest lifts up towards the ceiling. It's not an overarching, so you're not really trying to stick your chest forwards. You're just trying to find a nice straight position with your back and really feeling your back muscles working and your tummy muscles working a bit. You're going to try and have your knees together, so not falling out to the side, your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And you're going to work your big toes towards each other. This is really important. There are little muscles just at the side of the big toes that we start to lose control over, and bunions very easily start to develop because we simply don't use those muscles. So with your feet together, you're going to try and push your big toes towards each other. So just go ahead and do that. And then see if you can spread the other toes away from your big toes. And then keeping your back nice and straight, so you might need to just remind yourself to lift, keep lifting up through there. With your back staying really nice and straight, you're going to slowly push out through the balls of your feet and start to straighten your legs. The second your back starts to lose its ability to stay nice and upright, then you keep the legs in that position. So if you can go ahead and straighten completely, just if you do it very, very slowly, you're going to notice when your hamstring muscles start to grab on the muscles, the ligaments, fascia that actually connect to your back. So when our hamstrings and calves are really tight, so though there's this whole back line of tension, back of the legs that connects to the pelvis, connects to the low back, and it kind of tugs us into this rounded position. So lift up and see if you can push your legs straight. I know I'm talking a lot. I want you to be holding this position for a while, so that gives me a while to talk. Just going to see about having your hands by your sides. You can press the floor a little bit for support. Just lift your chest and just breathe here. Notice your head position. This is the next thing. You're going to avoid sitting like this. You're going to tuck your chin in and really try and just continue the length of your back up into your neck, as though you're just lifting up from the crown of your head and everything is nicely in line. And then if you can take your hands away from the floor, maybe you might need to bend your knees a little bit just to keep that nice back position. Get your hands around the sides of your rib cage. So that's not right down here. I want you to have them quite high up. So have the thumb facing forwards rather than the back behind you. It'll be a bit more comfortable. And just placing your hands here, try and breathe into your hands as though you're pushing your hands away. And slowly exhale and feel your chest narrowing. Inhale, push your hands away. Exhale through pursed lips this time. Inhale, expanding, pushing your hands away. Starting to feel more and more lateral movement through your rib cage, and exhale through pursed lips, really slowly breathing out. Let's repeat that twice more. Inhale. Exhale through pursed lips. Keep pressing the big toes towards each other. Last one. Exhale through pursed lips. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into cross-legged position. So straight-legged position is one way of sitting, cross-legged position is the other way of sitting. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just simply going to cross at the shins and then just sitting up nice and tall. You're just going to hold yourself in this position again. I find it really helpful just to rock from side to side and slightly move the flesh out from under my bum so that I can feel the base of my pelvis. As I feel the base of my pelvis, that helps me to get grounded. And then I just take my awareness slowly up my spine. Tuck the head in. And lift up, so behind the ears, right up to the crown of the head. You're really lifting through there. Are you leaning forwards? Are you leaning backwards? If you're not sure, use some movement. Rock forwards and rock backwards so that you start to notice as you pass through a center line. Sitting really nice and tall. We're just going to switch the legs. So you're going to put your other leg in front. So you're just going to go ahead again and cross at your shins. So nothing fancy. Again, just rock from side to side. It's going to feel a little more awkward one way. Hands on your knees. Still trying to create that nice back position. So really tall through your low back, not coming down into a slumped position. Sitting tall. Notice when I went slumped, my legs could drop out a little bit more. As I grow taller, I engage a little bit more through my legs. And that's just part of my physical pattern, not necessarily good or bad, but my knees have come up a little bit more. I'm putting my hands on my knees and I'm actually using them for support. So I'm kind of bracing a little bit, holding onto my knees. You can do that too. Tuck your chin in. And take a few breaths here. Again, that breath without putting our hands on our rib cage, but that breath again as though there's expansion as you inhale. And as you exhale, try breathing through pursed lips. It will make your breath nice and long. And then there's the rib cage narrowing. So just keep breathing and I'll just describe the breath. The lower ribs move out and in. The upper ribs, which are up here, move more up and down, up and down. We want to really focus on that expansion of the lateral movement out and in because that's the movement that's first to get tight and we lose our flexibility through there. A really nice expansive movement through the sides of your rib cage. Great. Okay, last thing we're going to do in this little sequence, we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. We can actually hold the feet and we're going to put our thumbs just around the inside of the feet, opening the feet as though you're opening a book. And you can again just hold the feet, sit up tall, take some nice breaths, and by holding the feet you can really help yourself to lift up tall. One of the things I'm mentioning right at the end that I should have mentioned at the beginning is you can just pop a couple of cushions underneath your buttocks if you are really struggling to sit up straight. Oh well, you can do this again. Good to do it twice and then get that book or cushions underneath your pelvis to lift yourself up. Good. Let's fold forwards, just see if we can get a little bit of a forward bend. Doesn't need to be much. Lengthening, then tuck your chin. Lengthening back up. And then let's just quickly repeat that. So you're going to come back to sitting straight, hands by your hips. Bend your knees just a touch to help lift and lengthen your back. Pop something under your hips if you need it. Press the big toes together. Take a breath. Exhale. 2 more breaths, one with the hands here. Exhale. Hands back by your sides. Breath in, shoulders down. Exhale. Crossing your legs at your shins. Placing your hands over the front of your knees. Tuck your chin. 3 breaths. Relax your shoulders. Let your breath become contemplative. And then the other side. So just the other leg coming in front. Hands back onto your knees. Shift your hips from side to side. Get comfortable. Lengthen your spine, tuck your chin, relax your shoulders. Again, just let your mental focus become quite soft and relaxed. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. And then our last posture is with the feet, soles of the feet together, shifting hips side to side, nice and tall, holding your feet, tuck your chin, relax your face. Nice slow breaths. 3 breaths just sitting like this. Lots of awareness through the back of your body. How's the back of your head feel? How does the back of your shoulders feel? Your mid back, your low back. And then slowly come down into our final posture. Bending forwards. Tucking your chin. And close your eyes. Lovely. Coming up. Coming out from here, go to one side, hands down, let the other knee come out, get back into that crawling position. You can maybe try that each side a couple of times just to get that hip mobility and that movement and that little lift of the hips so they're actually building some strength so that you know that as you get older, you are not going to lose this good, simple movement. Okay, there we go.